All right, let's get into it. I was having some technical difficulties. The draft has already gotten going. We've got many picks going. In fact, I already had a pick auto-picked because I had some technical difficulties going. We got KP's Real Deal MVPs picking tonight. Smash Mouth Football, Wildcats, the Dirt Cannons joining us. Just Sit and Barrett and the Burger Boys all drafting tonight. All the picks are being made. We're going to see how everybody turns out. I'm going to pick based on some of my faves, based on who I think some of the sneak peeks will be. As the picks go on, we will have commercial breaks, and I will be talking to you about other things that are going on in sports. So it's a good night. We got a lot of things going. We're going to be here for all 15 rounds of the draft. Looks like it's going fast right now. We're already in round 4. So be looking forward. Don't miss a pick. Don't do like me and miss a pick already.
Your team is now on the clock.
All right, I'm up on the clock now. Let's see. I'm going to go wide receiver this round. And let's see. I'm looking for, let's go with, make this guy my pick in round 4. Took Mike Evans out of Tampa Bay. Nice young offense down there. He's got a good connection with Jameis Winston going on. And as you can see, I'm already solid at tight end, solid at running back, and I believe solid at quarterback. We got Just Sit and Barrett up on the clock now. A minute left for their pick. They did take Antonio Brown with their first pick tonight. That was a good pick for them. He's got a, average starting position of the first pick around the league. So good for them. Nice little pick up there. Things that are going on in the NFL right now is they're on the clock trying to decide who they're going to get. Since Philadelphia went ahead and traded away Sam Bradford to Minnesota, which was, honestly a nice little pickup for Minnesota, puts them back with Adrian Peterson like they were back in their Oklahoma days. And, could honestly help them out. He probably won't start at first, but that's fine. He'll work his way into the position once he learns the system a little better. But in Philadelphia, that means Carson Wentz is next man up, if he's healthy. If those ribs haven't given out on him. So we'll have to see how that plays out. All right.
Your team is now on the clock.
And there we go. Real deal. MVPs is back up on the clock. And I am going to take another skill position here. I'm going to go with running back in this round. And I'm going to be looking for this guy right here in the Tennessee offense with the running game. DeMarco Murray behind another good offensive line where that's what they're going to do this year. They will be running the ball. No doubt about it. They will be running the ball in Tennessee this year. Another good pick coming off the board. Just before that, Eddie Lacy. Demaryius Thomas came off the board at 28th. Who is it? Burger Boys up on the clock now with a minute 30 left on the clock. Next story out of the NFL right now, Devin Hester. He signed with the Ravens today. He will be the kick returner, signed a 1-year deal. Ravens are making some interesting moves, releasing Justin Forsett and letting him out on the market.
Your team is now on the clock.
All right, we're working through it tonight. Everybody is on their stuff. Nice to see. I'm going to go with, I like this option right here. He's the number 1 receiver. He's going to get a lot of targets for the team this year down there in San Diego. Key is he's going to have to stay healthy, but I'm taking him. Keenan Allen right there. Off the board. All right, Just Sitting Barrett is on the clock. This is a co-owned team. One owner is stateside, one owner is not stateside. Not quite sure how they're working out their draft, but they're doing pretty good so far. Everybody, that's the beauty of only having 6 teams in the league, is everybody's going to have a nice stacked team. There's going to be a lot of available free agents, a lot of quality players that are going to be available to pick up throughout the season, make trades for, swap in and out of your lineup. I was in a league last year. We had 20 teams, and I'm telling you, by the end of that draft, we were picking guys that never saw the light of day, but we had to fill a roster. So I like how it's going so far. We're going through real quick. We're already in round 7. We're halfway through, and we've been drafting for all of 10 minutes. So that means either everybody was on top of their game ahead of time, and or they might have switched over to an auto pick or had their picks preset.
Your team is now on the clock.
Now I'm going to make the most popular pick of the draft because this gentleman won't be playing until week 5, but I've picked him to be my offensive player of the year this year in the NFL. And I'm going to pick my backup quarterback right now. I'm going to take Tom Brady. Thank you very much. I'm pulling him off the board. All right, Dirk Cannon. Dirk Cannon's doing a nice little draft tonight. Got Andrew Luck there. Good pick, Dirk Cannon. He'll have to be the team for him this year. He's got a couple weapons. I like Duke Johnson. I like Duke Johnson. How's that sound? I like T.Y. Hiddle. Moncrief should have another good season. It really does depend on how Luck's going to turn out there. Been a lot of big-name cuts so far in the preseason with the Josh Shintons and Justin Forsetts and Ronnie Hillmans. So it's going to make for an interesting week here heading into the first week of the season to see what guys get picked up. Maybe there's some trades still that need to happen out there. We'll have to see how that all plays out. It's going to be interesting to see. Smash Mouth Football is on the clock with a little more than a minute left in their pick. First pick, let's see, where are we at? First pick of the 8th round was the Seahawks defense, picked up by Kendrick. Nice pick. All right, Smash Mouth's still on the clock. Have you guys seen the Penn State kicker? Penn State's kicker, he's 260-pound kicker. If you haven't seen this guy, go check it out. In their game this week, their game yesterday, this kicker lays somebody out like he's a linebacker. He makes Sebastian Janikowski look small. I mean, he just blows the guy up. Different people have taken the video and actually made it look like the guy blows up and makes him fly 15, 20 feet. But nonetheless, he's a big old kicker. And he's out there doing his thing. It's nice to see a kicker come down on coverage and actually be able to make the hit and not just get hit and get hurt. So check that out if you haven't seen it. And here's a big one. Wisconsin beat LSU up there in Lambeau Field yesterday, 16-14. Big shocker. Not a lot of people saw that.
Your team is now on the clock.
I'm on the clock. I personally thought that Wisconsin was going to be in a little bit of a down year and bought into some of the hype around LSU. And not to say LSU's not going to still have a good season, but I would expect them to drop a little bit based on what they've done. And I'm going to take this guy here because he's building great rapport with the quarterback I took early on, Matthew Stafford. I'm going to take our free agent pickup. I'm going to take Marvin Jones in this round because he's going to get a lot of looks in our offense for sure. So I'm taking Marvin Jones off the board right there. All right, Just Sitting Barrett's back on the clock. They got the next 2 picks. Then I'll be back on the clock for the first pick of the 9th round. Is it the first pick? No, second pick of the 9th round, it looks like. All right, what other things are happening in sports right now? This is going to be a show, basically. Tonight, we're just covering the draft. After the draft is over, we'll sign out. It's a short show tonight. Wednesday night, we will have Jeremy from the Dirk Cannon RDSTFantasyDraft.com. Jeremy Cunningham calling in, and we'll go over your fantasy lineups, who you should start, top guys, things like that, getting you ready for Thursday night. The Broncos and the Panthers opening up Thursday night. Everybody check that out. But look forward to Wednesday night show. We'll also break down the last two divisions we haven't gotten to yet, the AFC and NFC West divisions. So big things happening Wednesday right before the season gets kicked off Thursday night. I'm pumped. I hope you guys are pumped. It's going to be some fun.
Your team is now on the clock.
And now that I'm on the clock, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a defense in this round. Let's see. Going through, looking at who's left. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull these guys off the board because they're healthy right now, and I know what they got. I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals defense off the board right now. They are gone. Dirt Cannon is now on the clock. Woo, easy pick for the Dirt Cannon. They must have done their pre-draft setup. They must have used that silver package I've been telling you guys about and got their lineups and their draft analysis right. Look out for them. They're going to be some competition. One guy who's not competing anymore, sad to hear, Dale Jr. is pulling himself out for the rest of this NASCAR season as he faces concussion issues. Sad to hear that. But the more and more we hear of these other sports having issues with concussion, the more and more people will let football go, and we can focus on proper technique and reteaching the game the way it needs to be played, and a lot less of this flying off your feet and headhunting stuff that's going on. So, double-edged sword. Never want to see a guy go down like that, especially one of the greats. At the same time, though, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And Dale Jr. has decided to take care of himself, so good for him, good for him.
Your team is now on the clock.
All right, I'm back up on the clock. I'm kind of filling my bench here. I'm not ready to take a kicker yet. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. I'm looking at how many running backs do I got on the roster right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to go running back in this round. Got a minute left to make my pick. Let's see who we got. Could do a Jonathan Stewart. He's going to get a lot of touches down there in Carolina this year. But does he stay healthy? That's a big question. So I think Aaron Foster could have a nice little breakthrough season, but I'm not quite ready to take him at this point. Moving down. Do I see a steal of a pick? Theo Reddick, he had those 80 catches last year, but we're kind of deep at running back. Derrick Henry wouldn't be that great of a pickup right now since I have Murray. However, if he goes down and Derrick Henry's available as a free agent, I'll definitely do that. I think I'm going to go with the power back and Jonathan Stewart this round. Take him off the board right there. All right. Like how it's moving along. You guys seen this? Kevin Durant now has leg tattoos, giant leg tattoos of Tupac and Rick James. Just got the Rick James one, added Tupac. Don't know what he's going for other than, maybe he just respects these guys' music or really likes it.
Your team is now on the clock.
I'm back on the clock. We'll finish up with Kevin Durant here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to wide receiver this round. A few years ago, Macklin definitely been a pick. Not looking for him right now. Brandon Cooks is probably the top wideout down there in New Orleans, outside of maybe a Michael Thomas. He could have a big year as a rookie. I think I'm going to go ahead and in this round, I'm going to risk it a little bit. I'm going to go with, do I go with this guy? You know what? Nope. I'm going to call that off. I'm going to go with one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets because Jordy Nelson's back, and this guy's going to do better on the opposite side of Jordy Nelson than he did last year. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Randall Cobb off the board. It's done. Signed, sealed, and delivered.